Chapter 8. He'll have coffee. The three entered a room that was slightly dim. Double O Siletti tried to make sense of it. Seems a little too easy, don't you think? Not very responsible to leave this and so many other doors open when your enemy is on the loose. Lights then came up, and there was Steamhold and Poncho sitting at a table. "Mr. Bond, Mr. Siletti, and of course Miss Serena, please join us," Steamhold insisted. All three cautiously sat down. Serena looked around to see a tiny button leading down to a wire under the table. It then spread to other wires connected to the three chairs. "My sincerest apologies. I realize that I may have appeared a little too harsh before, but allow me to change my attitude. You clearly found the girl, so please relax and enjoy the show. Perhaps you would like a drink? A vodka martini, shaken not stirred, Mr. Bond, Steamboat was completely different from when the spies first met him. Poncho left and then returned with Bond's drink of choice. Steamboat then diverted his and the others' attention to the monitors that showed explosives planted in each of the states along the eastern seaboard. Concern grew amongst Bond and Double O Siletti. Serena kept a close eye on the button that Steamhold was near. "Lady and gentlemen, I imagine you will be staying with us for a while. And not to worry, we will be perfectly safe. Mr. Siletti, what can I offer you?" Serena then quickly answered the question for Double O Siletti. "He'll have coffee from his travel mug. You see, he always takes his own drinks wherever he goes. He's very skittish about what he drinks and where." Serena grabbed the mug and was about to throw it to Double O Siletti. He motioned to her to twist the handle. She did, and then aimed the flamethrower at the cord. Bond, Double O Siletti, Steamhold, and Poncho jumped from their seats as the table, cords, and button disintegrated. Steamhold became cross with his three guests once again. Well, I see my hospitality didn't work. I was going to give you a front row seat to the dawn of a new look in this country, and you threw it right back in my face." "That's not everything we will throw at you. You tell us how to deactivate those explosives, now!" Bond and Double O Siletti both had their Walthers drawn and pointed at Steamhold. Unbeknownst to them, Poncho was coming up behind Serena. Immediately, Serena jumped, pulled out her gun, and shot Poncho. He stumbled backwards and crashed into another control panel. "Good shot, Serena. That practice you had at the fair must have paid off," Double O Siletti said in relief.
"Thanks. Gotta admit, this is rather exciting. Who knows, maybe I can join you someday."
"A discussion for another time, I think," Bond replied. When Poncho crashed into the control panel, that caused a series of sparks and shocks around the room. All the signals and electric systems were being shorted out. The explosives were being deactivated. Steamhold started to jog in the opposite direction of Bond and Double O Siletti. He approached a form of escape hatch. "This isn't the end, Bond. You may have eliminated the main trigger of those explosives, but I still have one way. Now I get an added bonus of seeing all three of you set ablaze. Goodbye to you, and goodbye, East Coast." Steamhold reached into a pocket and pulled out a mini detonator. At that moment, he was going to press it. Bond, Double O Siletti, and Serena shot their Walthers, and Steamhold collapsed to the floor, dead. The three turned around to get Poncho, however he had vanished. "Those sparks are getting large. This place is going to be engulfed in flames. Surprisingly, this seems to be one of those times where it's just a fire. The lair is usually tumbling down," said Bond. "I suppose so, James. I mean, with all of Steamhold's panels, you think there would have been a destruct now button or something for safekeeping." The two of them, with Serena, started to chuckle. That is until red lights started to flash and a computer voice came over of the room saying, "Voice activation sequence engaged." Bond and Serena looked at Double O Siletti in an annoyed way. He laughed nervously. "Well, look at that. A voice activation setting. Steamhold really did think of everything. Run!" The three of them dashed out of the falling building, with micro-explosions going off all around them. They were halfway out of the room, until Serena pointed to the escape hatch that Steamhold was lying in front of. They all climbed in, and found out it was a small jet. Bond took the controls, and the three flew away to safety.